Yeah, you didn't come in because you were associated with somebody, you won a lottery number, or frankly, you're freeing hard economic conditions that you're passing off as.
We have a shortage of rocket scientists. You're a rocket scientist. Come on over.
Well, that's how we got Werner von Braun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
or Oppenheimer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A lot of these guys, some of our best scientists were immigrants. I'm not opposed to immigration either. Like I said, Grandpa was an immigrant. He came here, he worked in the coal mines, worked his way up. Dad went to college.
That's what
I'm where I am now. Yeah.
The whole Statue of Liberty is all about.
Yep.
But do it legally.
Yeah.
And there's arguments been made. I remember the prior president, to the one we have now, made the argument of, well, look at it in the Bible. Abraham, he was an illegal immigrant into Egypt. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Matter of fact, before he went into the land, he got message to Pharaoh to get permission for him to come into that land, right?
Yep.
And then the Bible says, hey, we got to be like that. Israel says we have to be like that here when people come in. But the point is you ask before coming into somebody else's country.
Yes. And before Joseph brought his family in, Joseph was a revered immigrant. You know what I mean? He was. They says, hey, whatever, Joseph, you saved our country. You want to bring your family here because there's a famine there? Fine.
Even then, it took permission to do so. What is wrong with continuing that tradition? We have borders for a reason. We have borders to protect. We don't let people just come willy-nilly into the country, not being vetted. I'm sorry. Even if you have children, remember you're old enough to remember the Cold War. Mm-hmm. And the KGB and sleeper cells, and Russians having sleeper cells where Russians were raised over here from the age of children to be Russian spies. They weren't properly vetted.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're going to have Mexican spies, and then we have...
What's happening with Chinese also?
Or Chinese.
Yeah.
And by the way, what we find is a lot of things. We found a lot of Muslims coming up across the southern border also, where we found their prayer blankets and stuff, that we need control.
Building a wall. Build a wall. Like it's a negotiating process. Now, you got a lot of people say that a lot of people are afraid there's going to be a Republican civil war on this because Trump supposedly offered citizenship. But what he said here is this 10-year extended out citizenship, path to citizenship.
There's a path. And I think at this point, if they were brought over here as an infant and raised here, let's face it, where are you going to send these kids home to in Mexico?
Right. Yeah.
I think there needs to be...
America is down with that. We don't want to kick people out of here, but we want to...
Unless you're Joe.
Yeah, unless you're Joe from Wyoming.
I love Joe. But
Todd from Whitmore Lake. No, Todd can stay. In fact, let's talk to Todd. Hey, Todd, you there?
I'm here. You guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
I think I am.
Yeah, he's halfway here.
The news you need to know.
You stop that.
What do you got?
What do I got? Tell you what. Everybody needs to look up some of the immigration laws for some of these other countries. For instance, it sounds like Mexico has changed their tune since 2011. As prior years, anybody that was caught illegally, you got in prison, deported, you got caught again, you got in prison, and you stayed for the most part. But even New Zealand, at this point, from what I understand, they do exactly what you guys were talking about. To be able to have a service, a skill. They want to know how much money you're bringing in and what can you provide. And then they'll decide whether you get to come or not. And a lot of people are denied.
And there's nothing wrong with that system at all.
Absolutely not.
You want to build a society that is beneficial, right? Absolutely. So bring people in that will help the society.
One thing else is that New Zealand is a very hard left country right now. It's hard to believe that. As far left as Australia has gone, New Zealand, I know people...
It's further left.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible how left they've gone. And yet, look at them and their immigration policy, like you're saying. Or, like you said, Mexico. Yeah.
Immigration is a left-right argument here in this country. It is not a left-right argument in any other country. In any other country, they protect their borders, left or right. And so only here do we make it an issue of Republican or Democrat. It's an issue of protecting the borders. And we have to remember that is the job of the president, is to make sure that our borders are protected.
Not only that, but it's also Congress. Everybody together, cumulatively, if I'm not mistaken. But think of it this way. Why does everybody else in the world get to have borders and immigration laws but the United States?
Yep, no one else has open borders.
Because of the Democratic Party. That's why. That's why. And we got to keep that straight. It's the Democratic Party who is looking for a voter base by increasing it through illegal or legal immigration, however they can get it, because they're going to lose their existing ethnic base, because the existing Hispanic base is primarily pro-America. A lot of them serve in the military. A lot of them don't want to see illegal immigrants come in. They're irresponsive to a lot of the Democratic appeals on this right now. I know a lot of these people. They're blacks, say like Walter and people like that who they're opposed to illegal immigrants coming in and taking jobs.
Right now, illegal immigrants are self-deporting at huge numbers because they know what's coming.
Yeah.
And so the Democrat voter base is going down.
Yeah, the illegal Democrat.
That's what I'm saying. The illegals are.
So now they're going to have to register more dead people. You know, Todd. Anything else?
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope when it's time for Lion Chuck Schumer, and with his voting base, I hope they just drop out, and that he does not get back into office, because that guy needs to go.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. Him or can you imagine Nancy Pelosi as Speaker again?
I was talking to someone the other day. He said, the way politics are now, that it's getting away from voter apathy, that his grandfather has voted more in the last five election cycles than he ever has in his life. He's been dead for 30 years. But
yeah, there you go. Yep. Well, Todd, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
All right, have a blessed day. So, one last thing I was hoping to get in real quick, and Derek, would you play that Darkest Hour clip, please? This is some audio from the movie The Darkest Hour with Winston Churchill. About Winston Churchill, I should say.
We must now select my successor, and it's only one man the opposition will accept.
He stands for one thing, and one thing only, himself.
Why have I been forced to send for Churchill? His record is a catastrophe.
Your Majesty.
It is my duty to invite you to take up the position of Prime Minister of this United Kingdom.
Okay, Derek, that's good. I want to get to we will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them, okay? I just want to point out real quick, you need to see this movie. And as you watch this movie, you may see a lot of similarities between Donald Trump and Winston Churchill. They were both vulgar. They were both opposed to or opposed by the elite in office. The king did not want to see Winston Churchill as the prime minister. Well, that's time to go. Doggone it. Went fast. You got any closing words, Phil? Rick?
Yeah, my name is Rick.
Yeah.
And I'll be on Moment of Clarity from 2 to 3. And you will not hear those words come out of my mouth next hour.
Oh, well, look, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Gary will be here. We'll obviously do a better job. God bless you.